and welcome to the new Mercedes X-Class, which as of May 2018 will have just gone on sale in South Africa. It's very exciting. It's a headline-grabbing car. It's the first vehicle of its kind from Mercedes-Benz, if you don't count that weird 6x6 G-Class thingy. And it will also claim the dubious crown of South Africa's most expensive bakkie. And just before we carry on, for our international viewers, down here in South Africa, we call pickups bakkies. I know it's pretty weird, but you'll get used to it. Anyway, time for me to ask a question, which I will then spend the rest of the video answering. Is the X-Class worth it? Well, here it is. It's big and red, and the badge is on upside down. This particular car is the X250D power manual. It will go on sale for 796,000 Rand, and if you wanted to change gears for you, that will cost you an extra 28,000 Rand. Now, the X-Class is closely related to the Nissan Navara, and by that I mean it has the same engine, gearbox, chassis, and drivetrain. It's even made in the same factory in Spain. The car is 5.3 meters long, just about, and that makes it almost the same length as a Toyota Hilux and a bit longer than a Volkswagen Amarok, although the Amarok is wider and taller. So when we get to the load bed, we would expect that the Amarok is wider, about 6 centimeters. However, the X-Class is longer. Although, interestingly, between the wheel arches, the X-Class is actually a bit wider, a huge 7 millimeters, which I'm sure you will appreciate when you're loading things or whatever it is people do with bakkies. The cars claim that they will carry 1.1 tons each, the Amarok and the X-Class, although, I mean, the cars don't claim that, the people that make them do. Time to move inside the X-Class, and this is arguably where the luxury car maker faced the toughest challenge. How do you make a bakkie feel like a Mercedes? Let's start our discussion about the interior with the key. This is not a Mercedes key. This is a Nissan key with a Mercedes badge stuck on. And if that doesn't bother you, then let's move on to the cabin. Now, we've been trying to work out what's gone wrong here, and we think it's just that the ergonomics are quite poor. There's no space, there's nowhere to put things like your cell phone or your house keys. This is a big strip of plastic over here, there's nothing down here. The drinks holders are even tiny. Watch this. That's how far it goes into the car. Even this bin is super small over here. It's just not particularly well thought out. All the 4x4 switches are super low. You can't actually read the dial from where your head is in your driving position. Little things like that are going to affect the day-to-day usability of the car. And it even goes over to the steering wheel where you can't adjust for reach. You can only adjust for rake. So it's going to be quite difficult to find your ideal driving position. And what's also a bit cheeky is you can't have leather. You need to pay extra for that. And even though we're in the top of the range power model, nearly 800,000 Rand, you still get the cheapest infotainment system, which doesn't even have navigation. You'll need to spend about an extra 20,000 Rand on that. So nothing wrong with the build quality, nothing wrong with the materials used, but let's just say that the interior is not the best part about the Mercedes X-Class. Now, Mercedes say that they have tweaked the 2.3-litre bi-turbo diesel in this car, which they've borrowed from Nissan, but it curiously has exactly the same power figures as the Navara, 140 kilowatts, 450 newton meters of torque. It's tow rated to 3.5 tons, which interestingly is more than the Amarok V6, which is rated to 3.1 tons. However, consider this. You can get a V6 Amarok Auto for 113,000 Rand less than this X250D. Now, this particular car being a manual, I can't comment on the Auto box, the 7-speed box, which Mercedes sells with the X-Class and how it might compare to the competition. But I think I can recommend not getting the manual. It's a bit strange. It feels like it's been optimized for left-hand drive cars. It's actually closer to my passenger than it is to me. And the gear change is a little bit awkward, especially into second gear. You actually sort of hit the infotainment knob over here down next to my thigh. So I think if I had to make a decision personally, I'd go for the auto. I don't see the point of getting such a big, luxurious car and then having to change gears yourself. Now I've just returned from Oman, where I got to cross that beautiful country in the upcoming 190 kilowatt V6 Amarok. And I can confidently say that the Amarok is a very good bakkie to drive. But even so, this Mercedes-Benz does feel slightly better. Mercedes have been able to reduce the noise, vibration and harshness to the point where I think this could be the most refined bakkie in the segment. It really does feel like the kind of car that you can do some good long distance cruising in. Be very comfortable. Now Mercedes say they have tweaked the suspension that they've borrowed from Nissan as well, and I do believe them on that point. The ride quality is very good. I know I've made many comparisons in this video, but I think that was to be expected. The X-Class is entering a tough segment with lots of well-established rivals. But let me make one more comparison, and it is the price difference between this and the Nissan Navara, the car it's based on. I may have mentioned that a few times. The Power Edition Auto X250D costs 220,000 Rand more than the top-of-the-range Nissan Navara. And I know Mercedes have gone to great lengths to make it a very Mercedes-ish vehicle, and I do think it is a better car all round. But are buyers in the segment really that worried about refinement that they're willing to spend that much more to change the badge on the nose? I'm not so sure. So, bakkies, they're big business in this country, and I can see that Mercedes wants a slice of the pie. And if you are looking for a luxurious pickup experience, then I don't think you're going to be disappointed. But if it was my money, I'd buy just about anything else and pocket the significant change.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, maybe give it a like, and definitely subscribe to be the first to see our videos as they drop. Yeah, definitely do that.